How long does it take for your equity to make a purchase on another property? I think you said you're using a 203K loan. So if you're using a 203K loan, then you're going to be living in that property. If you're living in that property, I would check around with some local credit unions. There's a couple different things that you could do. You could refinance your property based on the new equity that you have, and pull a little bit of cash out, because most owner occupied programs allow you to do like a 95% loan to value loan. 95% allows you to unlock a lot of equity. But refinancing is also a big thing to do that's going to cost a couple grand. However, any money that you put into your bank account doesn't necessarily need to be paid back. The other thing that you could do, I know a couple of local credit unions here in Ohio offer this. They will do home equity lines of credits for the properties that you occupy up to 100%. So the line of credit on a homeowner or owner occupied property is kind of like a fancy and also very cheap credit card. So you only pay interest on the money that you use. So if you get a line of credit for $30,000 and you haven't used any of it, then you are not paying any interest on a monthly basis. If you need to replace your roof and it costs about 5 grand, then you would only be making interest payments on that line of credit for 5 grand worth of that interest. So if you're at a 5% annual rate, then you're going to be paying 5% on that $5,000 that you have extended to pay for that roof. Now your payment is going to be interest only. So it's going to be extraordinarily small compared to a credit card, which means it's going to be really easy for you to pay down that principal because the interest only payment is so small. So I would highly recommend that you use your equity in your home on a HELOC in some capacity. As I've mentioned several times on this channel, we have a lot of private lenders that we work with, and one of the things that some of our private lenders do is this thing called, arbitrage, right? So if you get a $30,000 line of credit at, let's say, 5%, then you can make some money on the spread or arbitrage of that. So our private lenders, if they lend us 30 grand at 10 or 12%, then they're making the difference on that spread. So they're making 5 to 7%, because that's the difference between the loan that they have given us and then also what they owe to the bank for their line of credit. Now, I would only do this with things that are secured, because in the event that that investment defaults, you need a way to recover that full $30,000 to pay off that home equity line of credit. So if it's secured, I wouldn't necessarily view it as a risky thing. If you use that line of credit to buy additional rental properties, I wouldn't view that as a risky thing. A home equity line of credit, I'm significantly more open to you doing that, because a home equity line of credit is not going to be renewable on an annual basis. It's going to have like a 5-year draw period and then like a 10-year payback. So you're able to use that money at your discretion for 5 years, and then you start paying it back years 6 through 16 or something like that. I know every bank is different on the way that they draft up their HELOCs. So I would definitely check with the lender that you are most comfortable working with to do your HELOC. And I think that's definitely a great way to use your existing equity to kind of launch your future investments.
Thanks for watching that clip. I thought that was a good question. And I think you can ask good questions too. Join us every Friday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for a live stream Q&A where we answer plenty of questions just like this one. In the meantime, consider subscribing to the channel if you want more of this content. And if you want to increase your deal flow, analyze properties better, and help me feed my family, click the link below for a free 7-day trial of PropStream.